If you're selling a house or you're buying property or you own land, knowing that property line is super important for every single homeowner. The clear property lines are going to help you avoid the confusion with your neighbors, and it's also going to ensure that you're maintaining your own land. So in this video, I'm going to show you both the paid and the free methods that you can find your property line of any home. Now you may say, well, why bother talking about the paid methods? Well, there's so many free methods available that I just want to make sure that you have all the options. I want to show you the pitfalls that are costly because I got some doozies in here. So I'm going to tell you that and so much more. But here's the 5 proven methods to find your property line of any home. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Jerry Pincus. I'm your real estate expert here to help you to avoid those pitfalls that are costly. So give me a thumbs up if you're good with that. Now here's the free methods. Number 1, checking the plat map. Now if you live anywhere here in the United States, most counties have a website that will provide you public access with local land records. And these records will include the Geographic Information Systems maps, or the GIS maps, which show the legal boundaries for each property. Now if you find these records on your county government website, you usually can do a Google search to get into that system. You're going to search items like GIS property records or land records and then add that county name. And once you have that, there should be some instructions on how you can navigate and access that property information.
Now here's an example of how you can navigate through the Horry County land records. So I typed in an address right here and I go ahead and I hit the search of that address. I'm confirming it. And it takes me to this lot, right? So that's where it looks like. Now you just want to always make sure, is that what the house looks like? Yes, it is. Is that the position? So we'll go back to the image and then we click on it again and we'll click on this pin and it's going to come up with even more information. It'll give you the pin, the tax map number, the lot number, this sort of thing. It tells you who the owner is. But this is the important part, guys, is you want to see what the acreage is, the lot lines, see where they are, make sure that's right. It's showing what the actual building is, but the key with this is it's showing you exactly what you need to know on what the size of the lot is.
Checking a plot map is a good way to find property line of any home. Now, remember, the information on these websites is not always 100% accurate, and it can vary according to your county and the level of detail that they provide online. Sometimes there's a lag time for accurate input from that county. Number 2, apps like Landglide on X. Now, there's also apps available like Landglide or on X, which will also help you find your property line for any house. Their data comes directly from the county and their GIS mapping department, so they don't always show the up-to-date information. Now, some counties are really accurate with their mapping, while others, they're just not. So don't rely on these sites 100%. Number 3, reviewing the property deed. Now the third method requires the property deed of that home. And in this method, it can get a little bit more technical than some, but let me explain this. Now the property deed is the legal document which establishes your home ownership of that home and outlines your boundaries for that land. Now this deed will have legal description of your property, and it's going to also include reference points like measurements of the land, and also sometimes even the angles, and it defines the exact boundaries of your property. Now, if you have someone who's lost their deed to that property, here's what you can do. Depending on where you live and which state, some counties will allow online access to those property records. And some of these records can be found online, and some of these records can also include a copy of your deed. So if there is a deed recorded for your property, like for instance at the county courthouse, you may be able to get a copy of that deed from the file when you purchase that property. And number 4, you want to look for physical markers like pins and fences. The next method is looking for physical markers around the property. Use your eyes, guys. So this can be anything from fences around the home, or it can be stakes in the ground. It can be metal, it could be pins or what they call monuments at corners of your property, anything that's been placed by the surveyor from a previous survey. Now the stakes may not be visible, but they might hide below the surface or the grass or the land. So this can typically be found with the help of a metal detector and digging with a shovel. Now here's an example I want to show you, the boundary marker there. It's on the other side of the ditch, right? So you look for lines and you think, okay, well it's on the line for the ditch, but there's also a marker here, and this is a monument. Okay, so this is concrete, it's in the ground, that was put in by the developer, and it shows the marking for the corners. Now I also want to show you, when I go over here, opposite of that boundary line, you'll notice over here, and we're going to walk over there, there is a pin. So if I look in the ground, there's a metal stake that's in the ground. Okay, and here it is. Now you can see this has been flagged. There is a pin that's under here, and you can see it. If we would dig down in there, we could actually see that there's a metal pin in there. I want to show you this line. You see this fence. Well, this fence was over the line. You see where these other boundaries are? Those markers? That's where the fence was. So this homeowner was encroaching over on the other side of the property, which is owned by the golf course. Before they sold that house, they had to move that fence back. You'll notice that there's a ring around that tree as well, which isn't on their property. So this is very important when you're looking at encroachments, guys. Look for the signs, and if you look over here again, there's a monument over there, and there's another boundary back there. You see it? So look for those signs. If you don't see them, use your metal detector. You can probably pull them out. These markers can give you clues about where the boundaries lie. But one thing you want to be aware of is the property markers, it's not necessarily always accurate because sometimes someone may have moved one of those markers. Now, on the other hand, there is a chance that fences may have been built for aesthetic purposes and may not even be on the exact property lines, like I just showed you. If you want the most accurate property line for your home, you should consider the next method, the paid method. Number 5, a licensed surveyor. This fifth method of finding a property line for a home is hiring a surveyor. And sometimes it's a quick and easy process of them coming out and just flagging the boundary pins that have already been put in place. Now, licensed surveyors are experts and they can pinpoint your exact property boundaries. But just realize they don't just survey for free. But a professional survey can ensure a clear, documented understanding of your property's legal boundary. And this avoids many complications down the road. A professional survey can also resolve any existing boundary disputes between neighbors. Now, when should you hire a licensed surveyor? Now, free methods can be a great starting point for a quick reference, but there are times when you will absolutely need to have the ultimate accuracy and peace of mind that comes with a professional survey. And this is where a licensed surveyor comes in. Finding accurate property lines before any major construction is super important. This could be installing a pool, a fence, or just planning to build a driveway. Guys, it's better to do this right up front, the right way. If you have a large parcel, spending a few grand surveying before building something could save you a lot of time and a lot of aggravation in the long run. I see it happen all the time, and I don't want it to happen to you. A dispute between neighbors over a fence or boundaries. You don't want to build something on someone else's property and then have a big issue with it. So this next step alone can save you from burning a lot of money on legal issues such as building materials and the additional labor for that project. Now, here's the truth. A licensed surveyor uses specialized equipment and legal documents to determine the exact location of your property lines. And they're also recommended in resolving boundary disputes between neighbors. So if you found this video helpful, make sure you share it with someone you know who could use this. And if you don't mind, share this with your neighbor so they know where their lines are and they don't accidentally steal your prized lawn gnome collection. I'm Jerry with Jerry Pincus Real Estate Experts. My real estate team is here to help you to avoid the pitfalls that are costly when you're buying and selling real estate. So give us a call at 843-839-9870. And I'll keep posting these helpful real estate videos here on this channel. So go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of these super helpful videos. Until next time, stay happy, stay educated, and we'll talk to you soon.